Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. A tactical adventure game combining the turn-based combat of XCOM with story, exploration, stealth and strategy. Take control of a team of mutants navigating a post-human Earth. Created by a team including former Hitman leads and the designer of Payday. Yes guys, Mutant Year Zero is quite a bizarre game. You play the role of a talking duck that can't even fucking swim. Well, when I say play the role, he's one of your team members who you can switch about as well. But let's first of all start with the graphics. The graphics look like they do on the screen. So there's the graphics. The sound, well, it's got good music. Decent meaty sounds for the combat, a couple of annoying ambience things when you're fighting robots, but overall the atmosphere and the sound is fantastic. But the music is really good. It's kind of like adaptive music, so that as the situation changes and you come across some enemies, the whole music changes, which really adds to the atmosphere of the game and helps get you immersed as much as you can be immersed playing a duck. I just can't. I'm sorry. When I was streaming this, somebody actually thought it was a fucking penguin. It runs fine. It runs like shit off a shiny hot shovel. It really does. It runs fine. I had a couple of little bit of jitters now and then, but nothing really. Runs great, and I think it looks fantastic as well. I love the graphics. I just love the whole cartooniness of the graphics. Now, there's 3 difficulty levels on this. There is normal, hard and hardest. You can also switch on permadeath as well, which I didn't because I'm a complete pussy. And the developers say that if you're going to play on the easiest, or which is the normal setting, you're probably looking at 15 hours to get through it, and then 20, 25 if you play on the other settings. Now I'm playing it on normal difficulty, and I've played it so far for 11 hours. I haven't finished this game. I'm honest and upfront. I'm not a lying fucking wanker that just says, "Ooh, look at me and finish the game," when really you haven't, because all your fucking graphics and footage show that you're nowhere near finished the game. What's the game like? Well, it has a story, and the story it's not anything special, but I'm kind of listening to it because I'm quite fascinated by the way it is. It's set after a big war. Humanity's been wiped out and everything that was left has mutated, hence the ducks that talk and the boar that's on your team that talks, and the only humans, they're not really humans, they've mutated into monsters and stuff like that. So the whole story is you're trying to find this guy. I don't want to tell you too much because there's a lot of funny stuff in the story, because they don't understand the ancients, which is what you and me are. We are the ancients. We were the civilization that was wiped out, and so they keep finding everyday objects like iPods and stuff, and they have no idea what they're for, and so they just guess, and some of them are fucking hilarious. And I'm not going to spoil any of them. But story-wise, yeah, it's nothing great, but I am interested in what happens at the end. It's one of them games that I'm probably going to complete over the next few days. I've got Just Cause 4 to do next, but after that I'll be completing this. Absolutely. Let's get to the most important aspect of this game, the gameplay. I'm really enjoying it. The combat is really, really fun. It's quite tactical. It's quite strategic. You've got to have your setup right. You've got to take the right perks. The perks are called mutations in this, and you can only have 2 or 3 of them active at any one time. Some are passive, most of them aren't. You have to actually select them in the middle of a combat. You can swap them out at a place called the Ark, which is your home base. You can sort of swap out perks once you've actually learnt them. And some of the perks are fantastic. You've got mind control perks that will take over somebody's mind for 2 or 3 turns, which is really, really good. There's everything that you do has a chance. It's all based on a percentage. So, for example, a 50% chance to take control of somebody's mind when you activate a perk. 30% chance to make them catch fire with something else. You can also combine perks with the right setup on a person. For example, you can have one that'll keep them stealthed while they move around, and then with the same character, another good perk to have with that is double your crit chance, damage rather, from hidden. So if you are hidden with the first perk, you can then use the second perk to double your your crit chance. So it's all tactical about what you put with the right people, and take your time over it and you get full control over it, which is nice. Also with the perks, once you've used the perk, You can't just use it again. You have to get a certain number of kills before you can it'll actually refresh the perk, which is a nice touch, I think. Weapon-wise, you have 2 main weapons each, and the weapons are fully customizable. Most of them have 2 slots that you can customize, such as a damage area and a scope area. Now, it doesn't just mean you're going to have better range and all that if you put a scope on. Certain scopes will do procs for stuff like setting people on fire. You might have extra damage, you might have extra range. There's all sorts of buffs that you get. Again, it's all percentage based as you mod your weapons. Each weapon can also be upgraded itself, so they all start at level 1, but then you can upgrade them to level 2 and level 3. They cost gun parts to do that, and gun parts are hard to come by, so make sure that the weapon you're upgrading is one you want to keep. There's lots of different weapons. There's machine guns, shotguns, there's household items that aren't supposed to be weapons, but these people think they are. But again, I'm not going to spoil that. You also have crossbows. You've got silent weapons like the crossbow. You've got sniper rifles, which is obviously good for range. Basically, you've got to equip each person with a role, I would guess. Some just for brute force damage with pump action shotguns, but I've found that if you have everybody with a secondary stealth weapon, it is really, in fact it's imperative that you do that, and I'll explain why in a second. You also have grenade slots where you can put grenades. There's different types of grenades. There's smoke grenades, frag grenades, there's EMP grenades, and there's other things you can equip in there to help you on your way as well. There's artifacts in the game that you can find out in the world there, and artifacts give you a huge buff for the whole team. They're very, very rare, hard to find, but when you do get them, you can upgrade a tree, which will give you a lot of extra damage for grenades and things like that, and more health when you use a health kit, and other great perks like that that affect you across a team-wide basis. One thing about the perks that is a little bit annoying is that there's a lot of crossovers with the perks. In other words, a lot of your characters get the same perk, and there's not that many of them, so you kind of run out of perks before you run out of points to spend in the perks, so you end up just having to spend the rest of your points towards the end of the game on just minor health boosts, which is a bit of a shame. I think they could have done a little bit more, fleshed it out a little bit more with some better unique perks. After all, they are mutants, so the sky's the limit with the perks, but the ones you get are really good fun, especially the ambush ones, which are very, very useful in the combat. And let's talk about the combat, the mainstay of the game. The great thing about this game, and why I like this more than XCOM, is you are in real time with your squad just running around the world, and you will come across enemy camps, and you can scope them all out, sneak around. You've got a torch. When you put the torch on, you can see further, but the enemy circle, which is, there's a circle, a red circle around the enemy, that expands, and if you step in that, they will see you, and then all hell breaks loose. So you have to good use of the torch. You can move faster with the torch on, slower with it off, so it is kind of stealthy as you're going around, and you're doing a head count. You're looking for stragglers. If you see a straggler, you can take him out. Now, and this is the good thing about the game with the combat, is if you're going to take somebody out, you must take them out, because if by the end of your 3 character attack moves, if he's still alive, he will call for help and alert the whole camp. So you have to kind of do a bit of number crunching in your head. You get the idea of how much damage you can do with your weapons, and you've got to take a well-educated guess on whether you can take him out. And this is why all characters should have a stealth weapon, because with these stealth weapons, nobody can hear you shoot them. So if you can get somebody took out using the stealth weapons, then that's a great bonus for when you eventually do alert the whole camp. Another thing you have to do early on is take out the med bots, because they will go around resurrecting people. You can disable them with some perks, which I highly recommend you do. But the thing is, with this game, the strategy element is really cool, because you can split your squad up, sneak them around an enemy, position them in stealth so that the enemy can't see them. It's called hide. You just hide next to a barrel. It looks ridiculous, but you are hidden apparently, and the enemy can walk right next to you and can't see you. But the thing is, you might think you've got a well-executed plan set up, and then when you start firing, RNG can screw you so bad. And if one of you misses, then that's it. You will not take that character down. And as you see here, my sniper misses, and the shaman calls for backup with his horn, and all hell breaks loose. The whole camp come in. I end up fighting 6 units instead of 1, and I get my arse kicked because I'm just not prepared. And that's what I like about this game. Yes, you can save scum your way through the game, but having to pay for your consequences is way better and way more fun and way more immersive. So I love the combat. It's very tactical. It does have RNG, but it doesn't screw you over that much, because you can put yourself in a position where RNG won't affect you that much. much by getting the percentages up there. When you come to take a shot, it's either you can't see, or you've got a 25, a 50, a 75 or 100% chance to hit them. So it's up to you how you position yourself, and it's all about thinking it through before you go. Equipping your team with the right weapons, equipping your team with the right gear, equipping your team with the right perks, and then when you do get into combat, everybody knows their role. One might be at close quarters, one might be a sniper, one might be really good at stealthing, and you work together as a unit and you shouldn't have too much trouble, and it's really good fun to play. It might be only 15 to 20 hours long, but you do have Iron Man mode and other difficulty modes, but for me it's about the actual quality of the actual gameplay, and I'm having terrific fun with this, and I didn't think I would, so it's quite surprised me. So I'm definitely going to thumb this up. It's not a full price game. In fact, on Green Man Gaming you can get it for £23. They've got, I think it's 20% off at the minute, so it's definitely worth buying. And if you do buy it from there, don't forget to click the link in the description of this video, and then I'll get a little Christmas present off you. So there you go, guys. Mutant Zero Dawn Horizons Eden. I don't know what that's. I keep forgetting the name of it. Whatever it's called, it's definitely worth a buy.
Say my name, Chiswipe. It's Pharaoh.